Okay, hello, good day everyone. So today we will be doing number 2, January 2023 solutions, right? So they said 2a simplified, this is x to the power of 3 in open and close brackets raised to the power of 2. Now this here, guys, is your law of indices where you have x to the power of a raised to the power of b. When we have a power raised to another power, this is x to the power of a multiplied by b, which is equals to x to the power of ab. So once we know this rule, this is super easy. It's x to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2 would be x to the power of 3 multiplied by 2, which is equals to x to the power of 6. And that is it. Right, if you don't know your laws of indices, you can do it step by step, where x to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as saying x to the power of 3 multiplied by x to the power of 3. And this is another law of indices. If my bases are the same and I'm multiplying, so a to the power of, I don't use a, right? The next law of indices is if it is x to the power of a multiplied by x to the power of b, what you would do is, because my bases are the same, that is my x's, right? My powers will be added. So it will be x to the power of a plus b. So we can say x to the power of 3 plus 3, which is x to the power of 6. So you got the same answer. Or I'm showing you different methods, guys. If it is x to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2, we know, same thing, we have x to the power of 3. This is equals to x multiplied by x multiplied by x, right? So basically, we're going to multiply x multiplied by x multiplied by x multiplied by a second one in this, which is x multiplied by x multiplied by x. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. So it'll be x to the power of 6. That is the next method. You can do it. Right? If you know your laws, this should be super, super easy. This one here, we have bases are the same and we're dividing. Now this law, y to the power of a divided by y to the power of b, if my bases are the same, which is y, my powers will be subtracted. So this is equals to y to the power of a minus b. And that would be the general form. So if we know this is y to the power of 8 divided by y to the power of negative 5. This would be y to the power of 8 minus 5, which is equal to y to the power of 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5 is equal to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's y to the power of 13. And this would be your answer right here. Right, so you need to know your laws of indices. Right, that was for number 1, well, part A. Then part B, we have our factorization question. So when they ask to factorize, you first ask yourself, well, what does x, y, and y squared have in common? Please note that y squared is the same thing as saying y multiplied by y, okay? So we know there's y in common. So y multiplied by what would give you xy, and y multiplied by what would give you y squared, right? Y multiplied by x and y multiplied by y. So we know they have y in common. So y is going outside, open bracket, y multiplied by what would give you the first term? Y multiplied by x. And then y multiplied by what would give you, I'm going to put negative here, it's going to be negative here, right? Y multiplied by what would give you minus negative or negative y squared, be minus y. And this is how you would factorize it. You find out what they have in common, and then you ask yourself what they have in common, multiply by what would give you each term. And that is how you would do this question, right? If we look at this, right, this here, right, there's a rule. If they are squared numbers and we're subtracting, right, this is called the difference of perfect squares, right? This would be, so let's say a squared minus b squared is a plus b by a minus b, right? And we know a squared, the square root of a squared is a. So you find the square root of each term, each squared number. So the square root of a squared is a and the square root of b squared is b. That is how we got each term here. So now let's look at this. We know the square root of x squared is x and the square root of y squared is y. So this would be equal to x plus y and x minus y, and this is your answer for this question right here. Okay, so this law is difference. I'm just writing it over different, D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-C-E, difference of squared numbers, i.e. or squared terms, right? Difference of squared terms because it has x squared minus y squared, and this is the rule that you should learn. Right, and this is your answer. Now they said hence simplify the expression. Usually when they say hence, it just means you have to look at what they have above. Now, when we were factorizing, we already know that the top one was y open bracket x minus y. And this part, x squared minus y squared is what we just now do. That's x minus y by x plus y. And that would be it. Now, we can clearly see, right? This could go into this 1 and this could cancel off 1. So the answer would be y over x plus y. So you just look to see what they have in common. We saw they both had x minus y. So we say x minus y into x minus y is 1. And what remained was y over x plus y. Right, so let's go on to the next one. Right, the diagram below shows two rectangles, M and N, with their dimensions in terms of x. Given that the difference between the areas of two rectangles is 64, show that this. So we're going to look at the difference between the area. Now, area of rectangle, first off, area of rectangle is length by breadth. So the length is 3x. So we're going to do for M first, right? So area of M is 3x plus 4 by x minus 3. Right, so that's area of M. So let us multiply that out. When we're multiplying, we're going to multiply each term. So it's going to be 3 by x, 3x by x, and then 3x by minus 3. So it's 3x by x minus 3, and then plus 4 by x minus 3. 3x by x is 3x squared. 3x by minus 3 is minus 9x. Plus 4 by x is 4x. And 4 by minus 3 is minus 12. Right, this is 3x squared minus 9x plus 4x is minus 5x minus 12. So we know the area of M is that. Right, now let's find the area of N. X plus 2 and x minus 3. Right, so area of N. We did M above, so this is area of N is equal to length times breadth, right? We know that the length is x plus 2, and then x minus 3 is the breadth or the width, whichever word that you want to use. So it's going to be x by everything in the second bracket, and then plus 2 by everything in the second bracket. So x by x is x squared, x by 3 is minus 3x, 2 by x is 2x. I'll show you guys the brackets just now. So I said x by x, and then x by minus 3, and I got 2 by x, and then 2 by minus 3. 2 by minus 3, 3 2s is 6, so it's going to be minus 6. So it's x squared minus x minus 6. Right? So we know that The difference between the area of M is this and the area of N is this. Now, as I said, we found the area of M and N. They said the difference between the two areas of the rectangle is 64. So when we subtract area of M from the area of N, right, you're supposed to get 64. So it's going to be 3x squared minus 5x minus 12 minus x squared minus x minus 6. Right, so it's going to be 3x squared minus 5x minus 12, right? So because we're subtracting, we have to multiply the minus by each digit in your second bracket. So it's minus by plus x squared is minus x squared. Then minus by minus x would be plus x. And then minus by minus 6. Minus by minus 6 is plus 6. Alright, then we're going to group like terms, meaning we're going to group all the x's and then group all the x squares, all the x's, and all the numbers. So it's going to be 3x squared minus x squared. So we use this, then minus 5x plus x. So we're going to use this, and we use this, and then minus 12 plus 6. And that would be 3 minus x is 2x squared. Minus 5x plus x would be minus 4x. And then, minus 12 plus 6 is equal to minus 6. And this is equal to how much? Let's just check that out. 64. Right, is equal to 64. So what we looked at here is we saw that everything in this is divisible by 2. So I divided everything here by 2. So 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. 4x divided by 2 is minus 2x. 6 minus 6 divided by 2 is minus 3. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Right? And then we want to make it equal to 0, because if we look at this, this is all equal to 0. So we have to cross that 32 over the equal sign. And the opposite of plus 32 is minus 32. So it's x squared minus 2x minus 3 minus 32 is equal to 0. Minus 3 minus 32 is minus 35. And this is equal to 0. And this is how you would show that when you find the difference between the two, you have to show that. Show that it is equal to x squared minus 2x minus 35 is equal to 0. And this would be the working for everything that I just now did. I think, yes, that is the end of number 2, 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed it.